space back with you.
Mr. Benson, what is the consultant about?
I'm sorry, say again.
What is the foster home or foster consultant? What is that about?
Okay, so basically, our state office has consultants there that work on the state level. They advise the counties, and then they also respond to concerns and grievances that people that have open cases can address. She would be the one that would directly contact the county to address it. So back 2+ years ago when we were involved, I was actually part of it was an independent living foster care unit. We kind of did everything together, and so things kind of rotated where I consulted foster care as well as independent living. Well, at this point, my job is specifically just independent living, and so I just deal specifically with our young people, 14 to 20, and trying to help them to transition out of foster care.
Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a veteran. I have served in the United States Air Force. I was honorably discharged with rank of senior airman. I had never been in trouble with the law prior to joining the military, while in the military, or after the military, until I went through a divorce that took 5 years in the state of Mississippi. Now, when my son Alexander was picked up, my children are 11 years apart. I don't know if you understand medical terminology as far as pregnancy, but I'm gravida 2, para 2. I've not had more than 2 pregnancies. I've never had an abortion. I've never been involved in drugs. I have never been involved with anything illegal. I came into this country legally. I was able to join the military, and I did not need a sponsor to be here in Mobile. Now, with that being said, I am the lady, and I have the documentation to back it up. I'm not being boasting or anything like that, but just to back up my identity, because it's not what is being said about me. It's not the allegations. It's my work that speaks for itself. So with that being said, I am the lady that likes to contact the food companies and the cosmetic companies and ask them to please consider taking the artificial colors and flavors out of the food. Now, it started out with the food, and then later on with the cosmetics and toiletries. But initially it was the food, because I, as a mother, am concerned about the quality of the food and the drink that we consume. Being that artificial flavors, artificial colors, artificial preservatives, supplementing and enriching the food with omega-3 fatty acids. I've been doing this since back in 2001. And it has been an on and off, volunteer position, if you will, for a lack of a better term. Because now, I went through a divorce that took 5 years in the state of Mississippi, and that was irrelevant to why my son Alexander was picked up. I had a bullying, harassing caseworker that showed up at Alexander's school. Now, my children are 11 years apart. She did not know anything about me. I did not know anything about this woman. She showed up.
Ms. Miller, I'm sorry, I just want to interrupt you. So I do know that you're giving me information that I already have, and I'm communicating this information to the consultant that will be contacting you. And so, and that's really what I'm trying to say to you, that at this point, the information that I have is not relevant. The consultant that's going to be contacting you, she's the one that's going to need to...
It's just that I don't want my son having any surgery. My son was picked up on false allegations that I was potentially suicidal. Now, when I
talked to the county, and it is my understanding that they were not proceeding with the surgery at this time.
No, that's not true. They have scheduled the surgery for this December the 5th. And that is a violation of my son's rights. My son said that his neck is not hurting. Now, this surgery is not mandatory. Okay?
So, something again, it is my understanding, though, that the judge and the GAO, who is your son's attorney, is involved.
I
The judge can determine that it's in the best interest of the child.
I don't want my son being a guinea pig to the scientific community. I know there's a lot of residents that are waiting to practice. This is why there is a worldwide phenomenon with children being picked up by DHS or D.H.R. or C.P.S. and not returned for a while. And while those 2 years or 3 years or however long the system has them, all these kids have been exposed to all kinds of unnecessary procedures and unnecessary testing. And all of this is it's against our law. We are violating our own law. Okay, this is a violation of my son's rights because my son is not old enough to make a decision about surgery. And this state should not be making that decision for my son. Now, I don't want my son having that surgery because that has risks, okay, of infection and the cancer, if there's cancer spreading. And there's no cancer. I don't want my son being like the future chemotherapy patient, okay? I'm telling you, this surgery has risks. And I will not, okay, because this is a violation. These judges and attorneys, they don't pick up each other's kids and put them up and give them up for the scientific community as guinea pigs, okay? They're picking specific people, targeting specific people like myself who has, controversial issues that they don't want to discuss, like poverty here in Mobile, unnecessary poverty, our minimum wage, is just way too low. Yet we have these judges making over $200,000 a year, and they're asking our government for a raise while our minimum wage is still under $8 an hour. This doesn't make sense. So I am being monitored, if you will, in the privacy of my own home, and I'm being targeted for my beliefs. That is against our Constitution. It is our freedom to have our religion, our freedom to have our speech, our freedom, and we have rights, human rights that are being violated. All right? And my son, I don't want my son to have surgery, period, end of story. And the judge shouldn't be determining this because this is almost like a punishment for the fact that I'm pointing out their corruption. Okay?
So again, at this point, this case is being handled by a different worker, and so I am trying to get in touch with her so I can give her the information so that she can reach out to you.
Because this does not look good for America, and this does not look good for Mobile.
I do understand that. I understand how you feel, but again, I'm not the person that can handle that for you. I've got to refer that.
Make sure that you follow up on this. This is an urgent matter. My son's scheduled to have surgery on December the 5th, and I don't want my son being cut open. That has risks.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Benson.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. Please follow up on this and call me back as soon as you have hear back. Thank you, sir. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
What kind of start?
Fancy, one regular fancy, not toxic. Strong.
All right. What do we have?
You got a baby, did you start?
So we don't have any made at the moment. I should make
What do you have on the other side? Is that decaf?
We don't have any decaf. I have a type plate with a medium roast. All right. But honestly, anything else for you? There'll be 22. Would you like drink?
No, thank you. Group of ice. I'll put it in the
Andy, this is Susan. Please, this is an urgent matter. I need you to please call me. This is urgent. This is regarding Alexander. I just need to talk to you because it's not possible for me to put it all in a text thing. It just takes too much. So just please, I know you have time. Thank you.
And let me give you a little bit of ice in this cup for you.
We'll leave you down there. Leave you right there.
Well, we're ready to go. You got a super rush. So you have a nice day.
Stop judging like that.
Gotta get my Yeah, Kimberly, chestnut praline, eggnog latte. Chestnut praline? Alright, you want